Greetings, Kerbal Killers! Welcome back to another episode of Beginner's Guide to Customising KSP, where it's your KSP, your rules. I show you exactly how to change KSP and make it do whatever you want it to do. Right, this evening we're gonna look at RCS. Oh yes. Let's go and pull up our directory for KSP. That is the how to mod for beginners. All the RCS stuff being game data, squad, parts, and utility. Yep, they put it in the utility directory for some reason. Love to know why. Okay, we're going to start with the RCS block, which is the RV105. And we're going to take a look at its config. Right here. Everything in there so far pretty much standard, seen it before, except for this module. This is the module that says it's an RCS block. Transform name RCS thruster. That is to do with basically the puffs of smoke that come out of it. Thruster power. This is how much power your RCS block actually has. Combined with this, which is your ISP curve, right, gives you how much fuel it's going to use. The resource that it uses is there, which is, in this case, monoprop. And of course you can change that to whatever you want. Recommend leaving the resource flow mode set to stage priority flow, otherwise really weird things can happen when it starts draining from tanks. Excuse me. Very simple, very straightforward. So if you wanted to basically make a bigger RCS block, this is the quad block by the way, right, you would simply tell it, where is it? Not that scale, it doesn't have it in, but you put in rescale equals 2 below this line. And down here, if you double the scale, as a rough guide, times the thruster power by 3. Job done! Next one is, looking for it, linear RCS is pretty much the same. Don't think I need to cover it. Where is it? Actually, oh no. It's under. Let's go and find it here. Is it not in this directory? Couplers. Nope. Engines. It's not the OMS engine. Ah, there it is. Vernier. New module. Everything pretty much the same there, except for that. This is similar sort of module to the one that we just looked at. Again, transform name. Thruster power. Oh dear. No, let's not do that. If you wanted to increase the thruster power, there it is. Bearing in mind that the resource name on this one is liquid fuel. Again, stage priority flow. Right, but we have 2 propellants in here because the vernier runs off liquid fuel and oxidizer. So the thruster power here, combined with these ratios, gives how much of each that it uses. You can of course add a third one in there, should you wish, and so on and so forth. Atmospheric curve, that's your ISP. Again, all the resource flow modes are set to stage priority flow. Simple enough. OMS engine, that's the weird one. Pretty much the same module as a standard engine, except in this case the propellant is monoprop, and again there's your ASP for it. Simple enough. Make a bigger one, you just scroll up here, and underneath where it says scale equals 1, you put in rescale equals 2. Oh, actually, there it is, it's already rescaled slightly. So you just double that, and then you can increase the max thrust by times it by 3. Weird ratio in there, because normally I would have thought it would be set to 1, but oh well. So you might as well leave that the same, unless you wanted to drink monopop. And away you'd go. So engines have been covered in the intermediates guide. Feel free to take a look. And that's pretty much about it. So what else is there, I hear you say? All the formats for every single part pretty much the same. Just about everything's been covered between basic, intermediate and advanced. So pretty much out here. The only thing that we do need to look at, which I just remembered from last time, see if we can see what the issue is with the hub. That's Speedy's hex truss system, what we installed last time, and we need to take a look at the hub. And I've just remembered there is something that we can take a look at. So these are the hubs. Let's go and open up the config and see if we can see what's going on. So we're looking at basically the node stacks and symmetry. Node stacks look okay. It must be a missing symmetry setting. Yep, I can't see a symmetry setting. Okay, well, let's take a look at the other one. Is there a symmetry setting on this one? Nope. No symmetry setting. Well, let's take a look at the KSP stock part, the Hub Max, I think it's called. I think it's under structural. Station hub, I think it's this one. Here we go. Yeah, stacks look okay. Why is there no symmetry setting on that one either? Curious. I wonder if they've redone how the symmetry works to do with configs. But let's take a look at the decouplers. So pretty much standard config. There's your rescale factor if you wanted to change it. Now module decouple. Excuse me. Now, two settings in there that you're going to want to have a look at, or you might want to take a look at. Ejection force. That's how much force it gives to ejection. Don't set it too high. Explosive node ID top. That couples onto here, because you've got either top or bottom. So whichever one you set that to will be the one that decouples. So now you can make your own decouplers. New settings here is stage offset and child stage offset. That is to do with your staging. Basically, it says that when you put in a decoupler, it increases the stage number. So basically, it makes a new stage and puts itself in it. So you can of course leave stage offset as 0, in which case it puts it in the current stage, and then it creates a new blank stage for all the tanks below it. Depending on how you do your staging, that might be relevant. Hey presto, decoupler's done. Docking ports. Standard config. And there is your module for docking port. Name, module docking port docking node. Right. Reference attach node. Again, that couples onto that. So in this particular case, you've got top and bottom. The node attach here cannot be referenced by these modules. So you've either got top or bottom. If you have a multi-point, then you may have left, right, up and down, depending on what's defined. So, hey presto. Node type is either size 1, size 2, size 3, size 4, size 5. Basically, size 1 docking port can only dock to another size 1 docking port. A size 2 docking port can only dock with a size 2 docking port. You cannot dock a size 1 to a size 2. Nor vice versa. You can't dock a size 3 to a size 1. And hey presto, docking port's done. Now, what we want to look at now are the adapters, wherever they've been put. Here we go, large adapter quad. Just bear with me one moment. It's a little bit warm in here. Right, you are going to have multiple nodes in here. Right, these quad adapters, which is what we're using as an example, is basically a 1 to 4. So you've got 1 at the top and then 4 down at the bottom. You can of course have more, lots more. Excuse me. So each one of these represents coordinates relative to the part origin, which is always 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And the size, you know, all the green attached nodes, the green blobs are at different sizes. That's what that figure's for. So this one is basically a 2.5 meter stack at the top, going to 4 1.25 meters. And that's it, no special modules. And it sorts everything else out within the game. So you don't just have to have nodes top and bottom of a part, you can have multiple nodes top and bottom, multiple nodes on the left, multiple nodes on the right, multiple nodes at the front, multiple nodes at the back. How do you work out these coordinates? Well, it depends on the size of the part, but to be honest, I pretty much kind of guess them, to be honest. One thing you will notice, stack symmetry value. When you press the symmetry button, it will automatically jump to symmetry mode 3, which is 4 times symmetry. Because you've got single mode symmetry, double mode symmetry, triple mode symmetry, and quad. So that's 0, 1, 2, 3. Now, if you had 8 on there, you would jump to stack symmetry 6. Because you got single, double, triple, quad, hex, which is 6, and oct, which is 8. Is it 6 or is it 5? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, correction. For 8, it's 5. Quite simple. So here we have the 2.5 meter to triple. 1, 2, 3. Stack symmetry is 2, which means it'll only go up to 3 times as soon as you hit the stack symmetry button, which sometimes can get really annoying. And again, those settings pretty much the same. The mini one, as you can see, node size 0, node size 1. That is basically a weird adapter thing. Uh-oh. Now that is just brilliant timing, isn't it? It would seem I'm just gone flat. Lovely. Yay. Luckily enough, I do actually have some on charge. Just bear with me. Uh-oh. Are these charged or are they flat? They should be charged. There we go. Or not. I don't think it likes these batteries. Weird. And I wish I could mute my mic, but without a mouse, not happening. Let's try them again. Nope. Mouse says no. Okay, gonna have to have a look at see what's up with those batteries. Lucky enough, I do actually have another set on charge, which are indeed working and behave. There we go. So this one's just a stack adapter for different sizes, and again, nothing new in there. So that's pretty much how the adapters work, and you're all good to go. Just trying to think, is there anything that hasn't yet been covered? There is one. It's a small minor note, but solar panels. They're not a mysterious object, honest. Standard config. And here we have the module deployable solar panel. Not all of them have deployable solar panel. Some of them just have solar panel. Module solar panel. This one of course has an animation with it. The animation name is that. The animation is contained within the module. So the resource that it gives you is electric charge. Feel free to change that resource to whatever the hell you want. Charge rate, that is the maximum charge that it will give you. The power curve is a bit like an engine's ISP. This is the distance from the sun. So when it's at 0 distance, the scale factor is 10. When it's at that large number, it's at 0.5. When it's here, it's at 1, and then when it's here, it drops off to 0 again. So the solar panels are not set to be a linear power curve, so you can't just go point blank to the sun and get an absolute ruckload out of the sun. Well, you can, but as it says here at 0, it's 10 times, so you get 180 out of this one. But then you've got these two that then start backing off on the power, which are actually in the wrong order, but oh well. Let's take another one. Let's look at the radial flat. This is one of the ones. Oh, it still says deployable. Oh well. Sun tracking is false because it doesn't move. There is no animation name, so I guess the module is actually intelligent enough to realise. Is breakable false, which means it can't be damaged. Basically, when you re-enter, you don't have to fold the panel away. Resource name, electric charge, charge rate, and there's your power curve. What else do we have? We've already been through the RTG, solar panels, shrouded panels, pretty much the same. Deployable solar panel, that's the animation name, that's the resource that it gives you, there's your charge rate, and there's your power curve. It's all pretty much bog standard. Cockpits. Well, let's have a look here. Command, there we go. Mark 1 pod. Open up the config. You're going to be able to understand this lot now. Standard configs. Attachment nose top and bottom. Vessel type. Not seen that before. That's what defines what the vessel type is, you know, the little icon. the internal, if it uses an IVA mode, that is the name of its internal model when you switch to it. Module crew. I can see I'm going to have more fun tonight. Module name equals module command. Minimum crew is 1. You will find on the 3-man pod, minimum crew is probably also set to 1. Resource, that's what it contains, which is 50. It has reaction wheels, right? And that's the rate that it consumes for the reaction wheels. Module in there for storing science experiments. Sorry, that one's for transmitting them, that one's for storing them. Contains monopropellant on board. And there's the module for the flag. That one is the maximum number of crew that you can get inside that module. If we take a look at the... let's have a look at the lander can. You will see vessel type lander. You'll see crew capacity of 2, but the minimum crew is 1. Okay, different values, but pretty much exactly the same as what we've just seen. Probe cores. Same config that we've already seen. Vessel type, probe. Right. No setting for maximum crew, which means it's 0. Name, module command, minimum crew 0, which means it doesn't need a Kerbal in there. Everything else exactly the same. If you have SAS needs, then you'll have a module name equals module SAS. And pretty much about it. Let's have a look at the hitchhiker. Crew capacity is 4. The internal name is there. Science experiments can be transmitted from it. They can be stored. And there's your flag detail. There is no command module on there, so you can't actually command the ship from it. Feel free to copy and paste it over. And hey presto, that's command modules done. Very, very simple. Nothing to them. It's not, these parts are not mystically magicked into KSP. All the config files are literally text-based files. So, if you have been following the last 3 weeks, something like that, you've seen how to increase or decrease the size of parts. You've seen how to add, remove and change any resources that have been within those parts. You've seen how to change the amount of lift for a part. You've seen how to install specific parts from another module, from another mod rather. You've seen what we've just shown, which is command pod modules, bicouplers, tricouplers and quadcouplers, which of course, if you created a module with 8, you can of course go for an octocoupler. And don't forget, those 8 ports don't always have to be the same size. So you can have a tricoupler where the center one is a 2.5 meter part and the outer two on each end are 1.25s. That's been done. You've looked at solar panels and seen how they're configured. We've looked at the RCS system and seen how to increase the RCS power. In the intermediate stream, we covered engines because they're a little bit more complicated. So if you're interested in engines, jump onto my YouTube channel where all the intermediate guides are saved. All of these live streams are of course saved and uploaded to my YouTube account. So unfortunately, Twitch only stores them for 2 weeks. So, now I'm going to drop a bombshell on every single one of you. If you're watching this stream, you are a beginner. You've probably never really modified KSP at all. If you've followed and done what I've shown you, and if you created a 5 meter orange fuel tank, then you are no longer classed as a gamer. You might want to hold on to your chairs. If you duplicated that config file and you changed the rescale value, you are now classed as a modder because you've created your own mod for KSP. If you duplicated parts and changed any of the settings, you are a modder. You don't have to have special programming skills. You don't have to be a whiz with 3D modeling. You can do it with a text editor. So welcome to the world of modding, or as I call it, customization. So that kind of brings the beginner's guide to an end. We basically shot through everything very, very quickly. Next up for you guys that are looking at the beginners is to go on to the intermediate, shoot through the intermediate videos, and then jump in on the advanced once you're ready. So, one last thing. We have mentioned that there are a few bugs with stuff. So, my final lesson in this series is how to report bugs. And I'm going to show you one way of doing it. And I'm going to do it live on the stream. Now, to report bugs, it depends on where it is that you are reporting them to, who basically is responsible for the bug. Now, one bug in particular to do with docking, I have a particular gripe about, so I'm going to report that bug live here on stream. So, that is a squad bug, and squad do not provide support if you have mods installed. So we need to go into our unmodded KSP and basically replicate the bug. So that is what we're going to do right now. I'm going to chuck you over to KSP and we're going to wait for it to start. So what I'm going to do once this starts up is I am going to create 2 spacecraft, get them into orbit. Remember, can't use HyperEdit, can't use any mods, must all be stock parts. And then I am going to start a second video recording, which OBS can do, straight from the live stream, right, and basically show the developers the bug again. And you will be watching exactly what they are going to see in the video. Now, while we're waiting for this to load, just to point out, next week there will be no live stream, because tomorrow morning, first thing, I'm going to be ordering hardware for my PC, and I'm going to need to completely reinstall it and completely re-performance tune it, which is probably going to take me a week. So, just giving you fair warning. Also, after that, I think I'm going to reconfigure the streams slightly. I need to push them both to an 8 o'clock start anyway. Oh, no saved game. Start a new one. Right, so the particular bug and therefore gripe that I have is the long-standing bug that I reported back in 0.22 with regards to radial docking ports docking to a radial docking port. Basically the alignment was off. So we need to create a spacecraft that has nose docking port and radial docking port. So we are going to have... Shall we have the cupola? Yeah, I kind of like the cupola. So, cupola on there. Utility. Shielded? Nah. We want... Yep, it's that one. On there. And we want that one. Now, what we also need is 2.5 meter tank. We're going to go for the orange one. Hang on, before we do that, we need plenty of RCS. We are going to need... Yeah, going to need an engine. I keep forgetting that's the big one. Let's use that. So we have a nose docking port there. We need a lot of RCS. We also need reaction wheels. Oops, too far. We'll go for quads on here. And then we'll have the assistance of Werner thrusters for lateral movement. Actually, no, let's not. Now what we are going to do is to put those... Oops, I forgot to duplicate that one. Now them there and them there. To make a copy of that. And then we want structural, we want that one to go on there. I need a bit more height. Actually, that's not going to quite work, is it? No, we can't do it that way. Well, we're going to have to do it a very weird way. Yep. Oh, okay. Fine. Go ahead and get rid of that. Get rid of them, and we're going to stick verniers on. Oops, we're in the wrong category, that's why I can't find them. And then we want another one of those big docking ports on here. Yeah, let's go ahead and put traction wheels on. Actually, we need batteries on both of these. Battery on there. Battery on there. We're gonna need solar. That one. Nope, that one. There we go. And we're gonna use these. Get up to 8 times on there. And 8 times around that one as well. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to launch this thing into orbit. Right, this bit will obviously just push the station into orbit, and then it'll have plenty to swing around and dock with stuff. So now we need to build the rest of the rocket. And of course, we're just going to be guessing here. We'll go for that one. No, we need something bigger in the centre. So again, we're using nothing but completely bog standard rocket parts. We need the adapter. Is it? No, it's not that one. Structural. That's the one. And we want that absolutely wickedly strong engine. There we go. I'm going to take that, copy that, and then we want these decouplers. Set it to 1 times to begin with. I think this will link at the top. Yes, it will. Touch on the high side. That's about level with the horizon. Yeah, that looks about right. Fuel line coming in because we're going to do some onion staging. And we want to strut our stuff. So we're not making this pretty. And now we're going to take this, go all the way down to the bottom and realign it. Except, once we get the alignment, there we go, that's level. Like that. We're going to see how many of these we can actually get on. 6. Oops, it didn't click. Why it didn't click? My mouse cursor was off the screen. That's helpful. Right about there. I probably could have put 8 on if I really wanted to. And then we're going to strut these together. Oh. Now this should get into orbit. So first of all, go ahead and whack some struts up to that. And then take struts from here and go up as high as it'll let us. The next thing that we need to strut is this connector up here. Increased 8 times. And we'll whack the struts on that, but only 4 have connected. Seriously. Oh well. Give it a name, and then let's go see if it will launch. So we need to get this up to at least 70,000 and in a fairly circular orbit. And we have to do it manually. No mods, no mech jab. And it would also help if my staging was correct. Right. batteries out of the way, throttle up, and let's hope and pray this doesn't go boom. Looking good so far. And let's hope that we've got enough delta V to get into orbit as well. So we're just getting our throttle back so that we don't hit max Q and waste delta V. Looking good so far. You can see I just threw this rocket together pretty darn quickly. I'm quite surprised at it. Although when it comes time to stage, that might be a different story. Right, let's go ahead and start arcing over. Oops, got a little bit wobbly there. Gonna have to be careful of that. Need to arc over a little bit faster. We could have majorly overcooked this. Over a bit more. Oh, we're looking like a noodle. Right, 20 degrees. Okay, make it 15. Somewhere around there. Throttle back for separation, and that way we won't noodle quite so much. And release. And they will indeed pull back quite nicely. So pushing the nose over so it's horizontal, and we're going to continue a nice slow burn at 50% throttle, unless this is like massively high, which it is. Right, time accelerate up to orbit, up to apogee rather. Right, and then we're going to go ahead and circularize. Keep the nose about 10 degrees up, that should sort out our fall for shooting past the apogee. I'm waiting for the perigee. There it is. Yep, way too much fuel. So, I'm going to get rid of that. And we're going to light up this engine. Ah, an explosion. I feel so much better. Right, so there we are. We are, of course, in orbit. Now we're going to decouple, activate the RCS, and thrust backwards. And hey presto. So now we're going to control from here, and then we're going to dock to that one. And we're going to swing the camera thank you. We are that way. So, just to the right, and tell targeting to point at the target. So what that'll do is automatically point us at the docking port. So first of all, before we file the bug report, we're going to replicate it with a completely different setup than what we had when we discovered it. So again, sideways thrust, and we're also going to thrust forwards. Just till we get our vector cursor within view. Then we should start slowly drifting round. Now all docking is done very slowly, very meticulously, so no whinging about how long it takes. How long it takes is completely irrelevant. Right, coming up for a 90-degree angle here. So we're going to arrest our sideways movement that we gave and thrust forward. So we're going to bring our green trajectory indicator right smack bang in the middle of the target. 0.2, let's go a bit faster. 0.4, I'll do, mate. We probably should thrust to the side slightly. Let's go ahead and slow down. So we get a little bit better of a 90-degree angle. That way we won't go wibbly wobbly. There we go. And just let it nicely connect. Just like that. And there we go. We are indeed docked. Turn the SAS back on again. Right, that works. That works exactly the way that it should do. Now we are entering the dark side and we don't have lights on. So let's go ahead and accelerate round to the other side. There we go. More. Like that. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to dock to both these ports at the same time onto them. Well, sort of. Let's do undock and backwards thrust. Right, so on this one, we're going to control from here. And we're going to set that as target. So, let the SAS point us at the target. Now I can already tell straight away something isn't right with the nav ball. I need to work out what the translation controls are here. That's to go forward. Okay. That's weird. And straight away it's acting very, very weird here. I already know what the problem is. So we're going to go stability assist mode. And I've just accidentally staged. Okay. We need to rotate. Not that way. Not that way. That way. And then we need to go forwards. So we've switched to basically visual docking. If I put the targeting reticule on the target, I can guarantee that port is going to come up to the cupola rather than here. And this is the bug that we are going to report. Oops. And as you can see, that says we're on target, but visually we're nowhere near. And hey presto, that is the bug that they haven't fixed. So let's do visual. I might not be able to get them both aligned here, but I'll do my best. How about that? And as you can see, the indicators on the nav ball are way off. Oops. Oops, that way. So we're actually going to come in at a slight angle, and the actual magnetism of the docking ports should pull us round to being parallel. So hopefully it'll pull the tail in. That way. There we go. And hopefully it's pulled both docking ports together. But as you saw from the nav ball, it was way off. Yep, they're both docked. Yep, there's your bug. So, how do we report this to squad? Well, this particular bug is best described within a video. So now I'm going to reset this and record a video live on stream. So basically you are going to see exactly what I'm going to be sending to them. Undock and undock. And control from there. Yep, that way. And hey presto, we're set up, ready for recording. Just give me one moment. Right, I'm ready to go. Now let's go ahead and hit start recording. Greetings, squad developers. I'm CW and I am recording this video live on my Twitch stream. I am reporting a long-standing bug that's been in KSP since 0.22, and this is the second time that I have reported the bug. Still present in 0.90. I'm currently running KSP 0.90 that is unmodified. So I am now going to demonstrate the bug. The bug is the infamous docking bug. This is not the one where the docking ports explode spontaneously. So as you can see here, to craft, and we've already set control from here, and we're going to set that as target. We're going to tell it to point at the target, What the? Okay, the SAS decides to go completely loopy on me. Stop. Do it with the reaction wheels. There we go. And it is pointing at that docking port. So we're going to dock with the nose. Helpful. So we're going to go sideways so that we get lined up with the docking port. We're going to cancel our movement away. And as you can see, the SAS is now behaving itself and it's pointing the correct docking port at the correct docking port. That's pretty much aligned now. Let's go ahead and give it a shunt. Nice and slowly. A little bit of reverse RCS, and we're connected, no issues. Wonderful. That's how docking should work. So we're going to undock and back away. Now, again, dock with that port, but we want that one. So we're going to control from there. I just realised I've shunted that and the SAS isn't turned on. Oh, there's no probe on there, that's why. Oh well. Oh, we'll just make sure there's no movement there. Oops, that's not it. That's not it. So we're going to rotate round. And we're pointing at the target. So we're going to thrust forward like this. I'm coming in. I'm going to line our vector. And we're going to tell the SAS to point at the target. And this is where we highlight the bug. So we're going to thrust forward 0.5 so we don't take absolutely ages. As you can see, the targeting is pointing correctly. Our trajectory is good. And now I'm going to kill our forward speed down to about 0.1. And there we go. That's not aligned, is it? Nope. The bug is that it's attempting to align the command pod with the docking port rather than the actual docking port itself. So just to confirm that, I'm going to switch off target alignment, and we're going to do this with the Mark 1 eyeball. There we are, slightly not aligned. That's rotation that way, and about there. Now coming in a little bit hot and tail first. That looks about right. And looking at the nav ball, we shouldn't be aligned. But visually, yeah, we're pretty aligned there. And we dock, sort of. So, that highlights the bug that's been there since 0.22. I know it's been there since 0.22 because I've reported it. And it's still not been fixed. So, squad beta testers, can you please replicate this bug and confirm to the developers that it's still there, please? Thank you, and hopefully you will sort this bug out for the 0.1 release. And thank you from my stream as well. Bye for now. And there we go, stream. That is the bug recorded in video format for the squad beta testers and developers. So I will upload that to my YouTube stream after this stream, and I will put a post up on the forum, and you will be able to verify that that is up on the forum because my forum name is still ComWarrior. So, hey presto. That's how you report a bug. You've got to be able to do what's called voice telemetry, explain what you're doing as you're doing it, point out things on the screen that aren't right, so on and so forth. If you need any other examples of stuff that's going on, take a look at the bug reports that are going on the forum, specifically the ones with the video. Now, not all bugs can be reported in video. Some of the bugs are in the log file. So this is how you report one type of bug. So recording video of the stuff that you do within KSP is actually good for catching bugs. How do you think Danny finds his bugs? Well, he goes off and hunts for them to start with. I'd love to know how he finds some of them. I really would. But hey presto. Video recorded. Bug will be filed after this stream. So just give me a few minutes and then we'll go to an after party. Okay, I am back. My apologies. I suddenly needed a toilet break. So, before we go into an after party, let's do some shout outs. We have new followers, Not So Cool Guy, First Ghost Live. I highly recommend people follow First Ghost Live. And we've got Dumb Negroes. Here's a follower. So, as soon as I am able, I will follow those people back again. So, we need to pull up some information here. I've got to do it on my laptop. Okay, and Twitch is getting confused as to which one I'm actually logged in as. Bad gateway. That's helpful. Great. Okay, so perhaps I can't do that. Log in, please. Bad gateway. Oh dear, it looks like Twitch has gone down again. Great. That means I can't pull certain information up. So, what is the whole point of these streams? Well, most of you probably won't know, judging by the number of people who have actually viewed them. I started a series back in July for basically Kerbal Space Program, Life, Universe and everything. And it was basically a fictional storyline along the similar lines of what Bob Fitch has done. Basically building up a story that can be based in the Kerbalverse. Now, when I started it, the mods weren't that brilliant. There's plenty of parts, etc. You got deadly re-entry, life support, so on and so forth. But with the fact that the open resource system allowed you to mine resources, I wanted to start using that so that Kerbals could detect resources and whatnot. Open resource system got replaced by Regolith, so now we are configuring Regolith to have resources, which is pretty much where we're up to. Regolith is a mod provided by Roverdude. Unfortunately, we've been having quite a few difficulties with it because there is, well, the documentation that we've got isn't too good, certainly isn't verbose in its explanations, so we are trying to sort it out. I say we, yes please, because I now seem to have assistance from Shirty666. So, from memory of the settings that he's sent me, seems to have something like that set up. Let's see if we can get back into Twitch on my laptop. There we go. Hopefully that won't screw up my stream. No dropped frames, which is always good. Right, I need to get into my messages so I can pick up the settings that he's sent me. These are the settings from Carbonite, which is another one that Roverdude's done. Carbonite basically provides one resource really, and that's not good enough for me. So I am doing my best to create multiple resources. Now, so far they do all seem to be working except for the resource that I've defined called Space Plasma that is floating around space itself. We seem to be having a few difficulties. So let's have a see here. He has percentage chance 50, minimum abundance of 1, max abundance of 99. Right, he has minimum and maximum altitudes commented out, just as I do now. Minimum range is 0.01 on his. Curious. Max range of 50. Okay. And what's it got in for variance? Also 50. Right, so we're going to save that. This is, of course, in the advanced KSP. So don't worry, I won't expect you to know this straight off. But as you can see, that is the regolith config file. And you should be familiar with the syntax. So those beginners that are actually watching this is an after party. You probably won't understand all of this until you go through beginners, all the way through beginners, and then jump back around, go all the way through the intermediates, and then jump back around and go through the advanced. And that's where you will start picking it up. So KSP has opened, so we'll chuck you over. As you can see, this KSP takes longer to load. A lot longer to load. Well, I fancy a bit of music going on. So all the music that I have on my streams are from by Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech. So if you want to go and download them, they're free to use. Go to incompetech.com or just do a search for Kevin MacLeod. Oh, uh-oh. I think I've just opened them with the wrong one. There we go. Add a load of them in here. Some of them I really love the songs. There we go. Great big long playlist. So we're going to open up the saved game. And I'm going to show you what I mean by resources. Those of you that are familiar with ScanSat know what this button is. It's the full map that is brought up of each planet. So in here you've got the list of planetoids that we've visited, and this is the resources that are currently defined. So on Kerbin, if we select water, we can see that water does indeed show up. And if you look at the percentage, right where my mouse cursor is, You can see it's moving around quite happily. So we've got water defined in the poles, water defined in the tundra, and water defined in water. So the ones that are in the poles are mineable. The ones that are in the water are, well, you've got to use a different one, which is a liquid scoop. You also have resources that can be found in the air, which don't show up on this map, specifically oxygen in KSP's atmosphere. And then you've got interplanetary resource. The one that we're stuck on is the interplanetary resource. So, we are of course using a lot of cheats on this, because we're testing for resource levels. So on this one, we've got a space plasma collector, and as you've just seen, it's in orbit around Joule. There we go, space plasma 7.1%. And we open the collector, there we go, and we're collecting space plasma at some ludicrous rate. We do of course have Hyper Editor installed, so that we can quickly send our ship around the Kerbal-verse. And that says 0. That's not the same as what he was getting. So we've now got the same config, and it's not what Shirty was getting. Interesting. Let's go to Moho. But we get it there around Moho at a really accelerated rate. And that did change as well. Well, let's go ahead and sit here for a little bit and see if it changes much. No, we're going to need more solar panels out. Let's shove them all out. So we are getting a fluctuation in the collection rate. Let's use physics warp. Now we see it change again. Slight change there. Interesting. I wonder if it'll change around the dark side as well. More changes there. Let's use standard acceleration. Oh, you can see it change in standard acceleration. What do you mean no space? Oh, I'm full. Nuts. Thank God for tech fuel balancer.